Hi students, you must have observed, that when you focus a magnifying glass placed in sunlight on a piece of paper, then at a certain position of the magnifying glass, the paper starts burning. Have you observed this phenomenon? You can even try it, in broad sunlight. Why does this happen? This happens due to a special phenomenon called refraction. Refraction is also the cause for the bending of a pencil, apparent bending when it's placed in water. Why does the pencil appear bent? How does light travel through a glass slab? All this is what we will study in the chapter called Refraction of Light. What is refraction? Let's move on and understand more about it. So first of all, let's understand what refraction is in the first place. The bending of light when it travels from one medium to another is called refraction. So when there are different media, like there is glass, air, water, wood, when light travels from one medium to another medium, it bends, and this bending of light is called refraction. Understood? Refraction is actually responsible for many common phenomena that we see in our daily lives. You must have observed, that if you place some coins in water, then, when you look at those coins appear to be in a different position, compared to their actual position. They appear raised. You can even try that. You can place a coin in a glass of water and then you can try picking up that coin, using your hand. You will be confused, and you will not be able to pick up the coin in the first attempt because the coin appears raised because of refraction. When placed in water, because of refraction. Similarly, you must have seen that when you place a glass slab over some text and when you try to read the text appears raised. Again, this happens because of refraction. Something like this. In fact, this is another common effect because of refraction. You must have seen that when you place a pencil in a glass of water, the pencil appears broken and bent. Of course, the pencil is not broken. You already know that, isn't it? But this is what happens, when you put a pencil in water. Again, this happens because of refraction. So how do all these effects happen? As we proceed through this chapter, you will slowly understand better, about how exactly refraction causes all these effects. For now, let me give you a vague idea of how refraction, helps in raising a coin, raising letters in a glass slab, and how it deforms a pencil. When you place some coins in water, when do you see an object? You see an object when light from that object reaches your eye. This is the eye, isn't it? Now you will see the coins when the light from the coins reaches your eye. What happens is that the light from the coins comes out like this. This is a ray of light coming out of the coins. Now this ray of light bends because of refraction. If it were moving straight, you would see the coins where the coins exist. But the ray of light bends after refraction and then it reaches your eye. Now the brain, our human brain cannot account for this bending. It doesn't understand refraction. What it does is, it extends the light ray that reaches the eye backwards like this and forms an image here in the water. And that is why, we see coins a bit raised compared to their original position because of refraction. So did you understand what happened? The light ray coming from the coins got bent and our brain projected the bent light ray backwards, and formed an image slightly above the original coins. So it is because, our brain cannot understand refraction that we see coins raised when we place them in water. Understood? Similarly, what about letters? Even in the case of letters, the light rays that are coming out of the letters, beneath the glass slab, get bent as they reach the eye. And the eye extends the light ray that reaches it backwards to form an image of the letters slightly above the original object, slightly above the original position of the letters. Understood? Again, this is what happens in the case of a bent pencil. The light rays coming out from the bent pencil bend before they reach the eye. The brain extends the light ray that reaches the eye backwards and forms a raised image of the pencil. So refraction That is, the bending of light as light travels from one medium to the other is responsible for all these phenomena. Understood? You can see that light here is getting bent as it travels from water to air. Now we have just touched upon the topic of refraction. We've just seen what it is. But already we are ready to solve a problem. Rahul's 1 rupee coin fell in a tumbler of water. When he tried to pick it up, he had trouble picking it up in one go. Can you explain why? This is something I had just talked about. Rahul's 1 rupee coin fell in water. So this is the real position of the coin. Rahul has difficulty picking up the coin, out of the water. That is because light rays come out of the coin and they bend towards the eye like this. The human brain, Rahul's brain, extends the light ray reaching the eye backwards and shows Rahul that this is the position of the coin. In reality, this is not the position of the coin, but Rahul thinks that this is where the coin is located. So he tries to pick up the coin from this position because he sees the coin here. However, there is no coin here, there is only water, and that is the reason why Rahul is unable to pick up the coin in the first attempt, because there is no coin at the position where he sees the coin. There you go. That's our answer. Here's yet another problem. Now Rahul tried another thing. He placed the same coin in a bowl and moved away from the bowl until the coin disappeared from view. Then he poured some water into the bowl and the coin reappeared. How did this happen? What is happening in this question? It seems quite puzzling. What Rahul did was, he took a bowl and he placed a coin in it. The coin has now started disappearing, isn't it? A part of the coin is now not visible to Rahul because the light ray coming from the coin cannot reach Rahul's eye, the straight light ray. Now Rahul fills the bowl with water. When he fills the bowl with water, the light ray coming from the coin bends as it reaches Rahul. The brain extends the image of the light ray reaching Rahul backwards, and Rahul sees the coin now, isn't it? Because though the straight line from the coin is not reaching Rahul's eye, the bent light ray is now reaching Rahul's eye, isn't it? And the bent light ray, when extended backwards, shows Rahul the coin. The coin appears raised. And that is the reason the coin is now visible to Rahul when he's filled the bowl with water. You can really try this experiment in your own house. Fill a small bowl with water, take a shallow bowl and put a coin inside it. Move away from the bowl until you cannot see the coin. Now just stay in your current position and fill the bowl with water. You will suddenly see the coin. That is because the coin appears raised because of refraction of light from the water surface to the air surface. That creates the effect of raising the coin. So there you go. Refraction is quite evident in our daily life. So till now we have studied, what refraction is, and we've looked at some effects of refraction. But exactly what happens when light travels from one medium to another? Let us look at some terms associated with refraction first. This brown medium here, let us say it is one medium, and this green medium here is another medium. Now a light ray is entering the green medium from the brown medium. The initial light ray, which is about to enter another medium, is called the incident ray. So this ray here is the incident ray. If you draw a normal at the point of contact of the incident ray and the green medium, in that case the angle that the incident ray makes with the normal is called the angle of incidence. Understood? So that angle of incidence is represented by the symbol I in this case. You can see here that after refraction, that is after bending, the light ray moves in this direction in the green medium. It moves in such a way that it makes an angle R with the normal, isn't it? This angle is called the angle of refraction. So this is the angle of incidence, I, and R is the angle of refraction. Understood? Both angles are measured with respect to the normal at the point of contact of the two media. Here's the incident ray and here's the refracted ray. There you go. Now what is the relationship between I and R? And how do we, draw all these rays? There are two laws concerning refraction. Just as there were laws of reflection, there are laws of refraction also. Here's the first law of refraction. The incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal to the interface at the point of incidence lie in the same plane. So this law is very similar to the first law of reflection. Even in the case of reflection, the incident ray, the ray striking the mirror, the reflected ray, the ray coming out of the mirror, and the normal lie in the same plane, isn't it? Like if you draw a sheet of paper, then all these three rays can be drawn in the sheet of paper. You won't have one of the rays perpendicular to the sheet of paper or at an angle to the sheet of paper. You can draw all of these rays in the same plane, including the normal. The second law of refraction says that the ratio of the sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is constant for light of a given color and a given pair of media. This is a very important law of refraction, and it is also called Snell's law. It basically says that you saw angle I in the earlier figure, you saw angle R in the earlier figure. This law says that sin I by sin R is constant for two given pair of media and for a particular color of light. Let us understand both these laws in a bit more detail. This is what the first law of refraction says. It says that the incident ray, this ray here, the refracted ray, and the normal at the point of contact all lie in the same plane. Here's the second law of refraction. As you can see, the light ray is entering from the brown medium to the green medium. The angle of incidence is I and the angle of refraction is R. Sin I by sin R is constant. That is what Snell's law says, or the second law of refraction says. In fact, sin I by sin R is constant for a given pair of media. So for this brown medium and for this green medium, sin I by sin R is constant. If you have light refracting from air to glass, then for air and glass, the given pair of media, sin I by sin R will be constant. Similarly, for air and water, sin I by sin R will be constant. For water and glass, sin I by sin R will be constant. This constant value is called the refractive index, and it is represented by the symbol N. So you must remember the term refractive index. Understood? Sin I by sin R is refractive index. You must also remember that sin I by sin R is constant only for light of a particular color. This means that if you allow red light to fall on a glass block, and if you allow violet light to fall on a glass block, then sin I by sin R will be different for red light and it will be different for violet light. Understood? So sin I by sin R is only constant for light of a particular color for any two given pair of media. Understood? Generally, if we talk about the refractive index, we talk about the refractive index for white light, the light we see in our daily lives. Understood? So if I say that the refractive index of water with respect to air is 1.33, what I mean is that sin I by sin R when light travels from air to water is 1.33 for white light. Here's the way to represent the refractive index. You see, the refractive index is represented for one medium with respect to another medium. Understood? So when a light ray enters medium 2 from medium 1, in that case sin I by sin R gives us N21, that is the refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1. Understood? So for example, if this green medium is glass and the brown surface around it is air, so the light ray is basically entering glass from air. In that case, the refractive index of glass with respect to air is sin I by sin R. Understood? Or the refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1 is sin I by sin R. You can also have the reverse situation. You can have a ray of light going from glass to air.